I want to welcome you to my live call with a question. How social are you? And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing over 40 years, share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. I started in this business totally broke, had to sell a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. In the last 27 years, I've been full-time in network marketing. So stick around and I'll share some of the things that I've learned in my journey. So I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. That's the thing that you want to do. It's probably a little hard, to be social like I've talked about in the past. Remember I said when you go to Starbucks, if you're standing in line next to somebody, don't be looking at your phone. Talk to them. Reach out to them. Compliment them. Maybe if you're a woman, compliment the other woman about her shoes or her jacket or whatever it is that she's wearing, or her bag. You women have an interest in that. Us guys, we never talk about our wallets, right? So anyway, but the thing is, now it's a little challenging because now we can't go out and shop. So that's challenge one is it's hard to go out and meet people face to face and meet new strangers, even though I love to do that. And then number two is a lot of people have become so addicted to Facebook Messenger or just messaging, and it's like, they don't really want to talk to somebody. They just rather message them, or it could be there also is it's what I've noticed always is that when people send you a friend request and you don't know them, and what I'll always do is say, hey, I just added you. Thanks for reaching out. And a lot of times it's a voice message I'll send. I won't send them a written message. I want them to hear my voice. There's a lot in a voice. When you get a voice message from someone, can't you tell a whole lot more because you're listening to their voice versus just reading a text message that they sent you? There's a lot more that you can tell about a person. It's just weird. It's more instinctive. And hey, Anna, good to see you. It's more instinctive, And so sometimes, and what I'll do is I'll leave a voice message with them that, hey, thanks for reaching out. Look forward to getting to know you. I looked at your profile, saw that you do XYZ or you're into XYZ. I think that's awesome. And then many times I'll look back at that message because I'll go back into my messenger chat and then I'll see that, hey, Jennifer, I hope you're doing well in South Carolina. Nice to see you. And Andrina from Texas, Jennifer in South Carolina. I'll go back to my messenger chat and I'll see that they got my voice message. It shows, but they didn't answer. It's like, why did you send me a friend request, if we're not going to have a social relationship? So which is why I titled this Facebook Live, How Social Are You? because a lot of people in social media aren't social at all. Matter of fact, they have the worst manners. You know, how many of you ever had parents that said, you need to mind your manners? You need to be a person with manners, like holding the door open to someone that's behind you if you're going into a restaurant or a store or whatever, or even a house. You know, that you know somebody's behind you, you hold the door open to them. You know, it's you know, I'm not going to bang on this too much because it's a little negative, right? Even some of these young people, even some of these Generation Zs out there, and they're like, well, I don't care about coronavirus. The most it can do to us young people is might make us a little sick. We might have a bad day, but it's not our problem. If, you know, we aren't going to die for it, you know, from it. So they you know, they don't think about being a carrier and affecting people that is older than they are. They're not concerned about that. So, you know, that kind of generation, I don't think will ever make it in network marketing because it's too self-centered. It's all about them. That's a lost generation. They're not all that way. But I'm always disappointed when I see that attitude and, you know, the ones who will go out in these large gatherings. I'm going to go to Florida, going to get out on the beach with thousands of people, do what I want, don't care. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me what to do. Okay. And then go around and expose others because, hey, it's not going to kill me. I'm a young person. Young people do die from coronavirus, by the way. They do. There's a lot we don't know. It hasn't been out there that long, only since, what, December? And you can't go by anything that China would share because they're never going to tell you the truth, right? So the only thing that we can gather, if you want to gather what it can do, look at Italy. So it has about a 10% kill rate, and it does kill young people. It does put young people in ICU. But yeah, so I think that so when people say, well, yeah, it's not, you know, the flu killed more people. Excuse me? No, read the stats. You know, the CDC, you know, the article I read was, you know, out of everyone who got the flu, maybe less than 1% died. And you look at Italy and it's got a 10% kill rate. I think that's serious, very serious. And not only that, we don't know the long-term damage it will do. Those people that they say are cured, what about heart damage, organ damage? If that was an engineered virus, as many think it is, what else was it engineered to do? And you know, years down the road or a year or two down the road, what is a person's health going to be like? There's just so much we don't know. We know very little about that virus. So again, part of our social manners is we wouldn't needlessly expose others by recklessly, you know, just getting around groups. It's not a wise thing to do. I even tell my leaders right now, don't do venue meetings. Not now. This isn't the time to do meetings. I have a lot of countries around the world where they do venue meetings. I said, this is a time that you're going to have to be able to do it online, using Zoom, using the telephone. And yes, then what we have to do is make sure that we have some good manners in what we do and be social. See, a lot of people got away from calling people and talking to people. It's everything has to be a very short, instant experience. You know, like, well, I don't want to spend any time with them on the phone. How much time would that cost me? Well, how are we going to build a business if we don't spend time with people? I mean, we're the generation or the that stand in front of a microwave when something's cooking and saying, come on. You know, so we're a little messed up. We need to get fixed here, and that is work on some things. So here's some things that you can do, you know, and this was interesting last night. I tried to do a Facebook Live last night. Did anybody have a problem with Facebook? I was going to go live last night. I was right out there on my deck, and I clicked play, and had a problem. It wasn't working. It kept acting like it was going to go live, but it wouldn't go live. And I tried it several times, and it wouldn't work. So George told me about it, said there were a lot of glitches last night. So I couldn't go live. But anyway, tonight, since it's working now, hopefully this will post. A couple of, just a few things I want to recommend that you do. Again, For those of you that are used to doing meetings and used to getting face to face, and I'll tell you, in Korea, they do that all the time. Asia, a lot of my Spanish leaders that I love to death love to get together. I love to get together. I do. But that's how they do their meetings and trainings and all those things. Now is the time to learn how to use social media and technology, because you can use it and you can help your prospects use it. Last night, for example, in my home, now we can't get together with people at where we go, at our religion, our fellow brothers and sisters in faith, right? But what we did last night was we had a Zoom meeting. We had a Zoom meeting, a Zoom worship service. So I was able to take my family, go down into the theater room, and of course we dressed as we would as if we were walking right into worship service, right? And it was really great. We sang songs, and then each speaker had a part, and they did an excellent job executing their part, things like that. And then finally it wrapped up and it finished, and then we opened the Zoom up where everyone could hear us all talk, and we were all cheering one another on, encouraging one another. So even though we don't go to a physical building, we still, and there were a lot of elderly that were challenged, technologically challenged, so they had to learn how to put Zoom on a tablet or an iPad or on a smartphone, and they did. I talked to some of the friends there, some of the leaders, and I said, here's the thing: if people want this bad enough, they're going to learn how to use Zoom. I know some of the elderly don't like technology, but I was impressed how it went through. But so the thing about it is, the point being there, that for those of you that are not used to that kind of a format, using Zoom and just trying to do your work maybe through social media or through a telephone, you just have to adapt and change right now. That's what you need to do. The fact is, you can get it done. It's just that you're not used to doing it. And when you're not used to doing something, you're uncomfortable with it because it's different. I get that. Now, you have to understand, I come from a generation where we didn't have any of these things either, right? And everything we did was meetings, prospecting people, things like that. Later, it transitioned into telephone, using the telephone, using conference call. Then it transitioned into how we use websites, and then transitioned into how we use social media. We have to always adapt and change. And if you do, your business is going to grow. Not only for you, but also for your team leaders. So when you get together every day, or let me back up, what I recommend that you do is get together every day with your leaders. Just have a morning coffee chat if you would like. You could also do this. You could have a power hour maybe, where you're getting your leaders on a Zoom, and then you're demoing how you prospect people. Now, for example, if you look at your phone, do you actually know how many names and phone numbers that you have in your phone? It's funny, when I go to my index, if you will, my phone book on my phone, I've got people in there. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I had that person's phone number. It just accumulates over the years, doesn't it? Your phone book in your phone. So here's one thing I want you to do tomorrow, or you could do it tonight, and then tomorrow you could actually, with your leaders, see you do a Zoom call. You could do a Zoom call, and they could actually see you go into your phone book and start calling some people that you haven't talked to in a long time. And again, so what would be the steps? The steps would be, first of all, you want to know how they're doing. Because everyone's concerned about we're all concerned about one another. So show it, ask them how they're doing, how their family's doing. You can acknowledge that you're concerned about the coronavirus situation we're experiencing around the world. And then, say, what? I was introduced to a product that I think would be helpful. And at the same time, we've heard so many people, even the President Trump that is, say people need to work from home. And it's something that I was introduced to. I thought of you. What do you think? Are there, if you could work from home, would that be something you would be interested in doing? If you want, my friends, you can develop just your own line specific outline, talk outline. You can work on it, on the verbiage, not make it difficult if some people need an outline. I've never needed an outline to talk to somebody. I understand sometimes people do because they lose their train of thought sometimes. So that's okay. You can put one together, but don't make it long and complicated. All you want to do is get the conversation going. So again, you want to see how they're doing, how their family is doing, acknowledge the crisis that's going on, because that's what's always on people's minds so much. And then the fact that you were introduced to something that allowed you to work from home. Had they ever thought about doing that? And then wait for that response and see how they respond to that. And I think it's, if you do things like that, Andrina says, I need an outline. Okay, that's it. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to bounce off me tomorrow, Andrina, I'll help you out with an outline. I've never had a problem with the gift of gab, I guess. I don't know. I could talk to a total stranger, But the thing is, but acknowledge that, their concerns, but ask them that question, have you ever thought about working from home? Because that's what I'm doing, and I'm loving it. And then, of course, they're going to say, well, what are you doing, This is a chance to talk about your product. Again, what's the need for your product? Why is there a need? Why does it have value? You can share experiences if you want. If you have a Facebook product group, add them to it. Things like that. And then, no doubt, you also have a money-back guarantee on your product. Most companies do. You can also share that. They've got nothing to lose in trying it. But the focus here needs to be really not so much trying your product, is that you got a great product. That's it. The focus is really more on the business part of it, because people want to work from home. That's what they're being told constantly. You need to be able to work from home, social distancing, Okay, fine. This is what we're going to encourage our leaders to talk about. I couldn't find a better time to talk about the business than now. People are I talked to my sister today. She lives in a small Tennessee town where we're from. She said there's so much unemployment. Well, think about it. All across the United States, and even probably in the countries that you're in, there's so much unemployment. This is an opportunity to generate money. And again, keep in mind, one of their first concerns are going to be what it's going to cost to get started. So alleviate the fear. Be ready for that. It's going to come. Hopefully most of them can put it on their credit card. But be ready to show them not what it's going to cost, but what it's going to cost them financially if they don't do this. And that have an action plan ready to go. An action plan ready to go so that they can earn income. And that's what you want to do, is you want to spend time with them when they join you, to run with them. And why not do it every day? They have nothing but time. You have nothing but time. We're all home, right? If you have to work, there's no place like home. So run with these new leaders. Don't just let things happen, okay? Just run with them and help them. So just show them the baby steps, because that's, keep in mind, there's 4 things that you have to answer that maybe they're not asking. And that is, what is this? Does this product have value? Does this product have value? So what is this business called network marketing? Does this product have value? Can I make money? You have to be able to show that. Number 4, can I get help? If you don't answer those 4 questions, they're not joining you. And they may not, and many times they don't ask them, but they're thinking it. Those are their concerns. Those are their concerns. And again, since it costs money to join, what have they got to do? Show them an action step. What do you got to do to get the money back? So for example, maybe if your plan was, well, enroll 2 people and let's get those 2 to enroll 2. And now you're at the break even level right there. 2 getting 2. If you go no further than that, you broke even. I'm giving an example. Everybody's compensation plan is, I'm trying to teach you language, without explaining the compensation plans, because if you do that, you'll blow them out of the water. Don't do that. I never talk about the compensation plan, not unless they ask me, and they rarely do. So I can give them some activity examples, and enroll 6 who would like to be healthy and make money from home. And let's help each of those 6 to enroll 6. If we go no further than that, based on 100 points or $100, you're making $1,000 a month. And then all we got to do is keep rolling. And the money will increase. You have to find the language for your particular plan. And maybe your upline can go over that. Hopefully they can. The thing is, what we don't want to do is complicate it. So we just want to give them, baby steps. Make the list. Let's work the action plan. And let's schedule time to work together. Now think about that if you did that every day, because again, you're homebound, many of you, just like them. So let's just say that you set a goal to run with 6 new leaders. 6 new leaders. You could spend Monday through Saturday and dedicate part of that day to each of those leaders and run with them. What would it look like at the end of the month? We're coming up on April here pretty soon, but let's say you had that kind of plan and you even did Zoom calls in the morning. Maybe that's a power hour of having coffee with some of your leaders. Different ones are going to demonstrate. They're going to go into their phone book, into their phone, and there's gee whiz, I forgot I had all these people there. Start calling them. Don't text them. Don't text them and say, hey, can we talk? Don't do that. Call them. Now, I know some of you are going to be uncomfortable with that because for years now, we've been so taught to use Messenger. I'm telling you that it's not a social. It's not the same. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear from you. So try to break free from that. I don't know a whole lot of people that are recruiting a whole lot of people just by sending text messages. I had a guy that sent me something, I don't even know who he is, sent me a message. Hey, if something was worth your while and you could make a lot more money, would you take a little bit of your time and look at what I got? Now, that was his text message. And I sent him a message back. I said, do me a favor, Google my name. You treat me like you don't even know who I am. You don't even know me. And you send me this kind of message. This is very, very poor social manners. Very poor. And that's typical what goes on with some of these networkers out there. And I don't know why they think they're going to make it in this profession. They need to quit. Quit and go do something else. Because you're not into people. We're in the people business. You got to wake up to that. You got to quit trying to, herd us like cattle and treat us like cattle. We're not cattle. We're human beings, okay? But I mean, this thing that you're going to just send a message and that kind of message, and then people are going to, oh yeah, sure, man. I was just waiting for you to message me. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for the opportunity all my life. What have you got? Oh, keep dreaming. It's not going to happen. Go do something else. Go cut yards. I don't know. Do landscaping. Go find something. I don't know. But you're not going to be good at this unless you're willing to change. And then get your mind off yourself and start thinking of others. You know, today I went door knocking in my neighborhood on this mountain. We got 300 houses, okay? Give me time. You know, just see them, and just seeing who's here and who lives here full time, and do they need anything? Do they need help? You know, so you know, things like that. And again, you know, even in your neighborhood, you can have social distancing. Like, I think that's wise. Still knock on a door and back off. You'd say, well, that's crazy, Jeff. You're telling me go door to door? No, I'm just saying, no, I'm saying show some love in your neighborhood. Be a good Samaritan, okay? That's what I do. A lot of these people don't know me because I've had you know, a fairly busy life. I mean, between raising kids and then flying and traveling the world and doing meetings and events, and then going to events and going to some of Ray Higdon's events, and then Tony Robbins events, and oh my gosh, and the company events. It's like I'm looking for a way not to travel. I used to always say that. Now, oh my gosh, you know, be careful about what you pray for. Remember that? Oh my gosh, I mean, it's like, I'm not traveling. This is weird. What do I do now? You might want to get to know your neighbors. Good idea. And spend time with your leaders and show them how to be social in social media today, where a lot of people are not social. Okay. So learn how to develop those skills. And when I think back at some of the skills I had, I learned how to get good with the telephone. That was one of my strengths. But I'll tell you what also helped me what gave me a mindset of manners was How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie, that book. When I read that book, that was a great help to me. If you could only read one book that would make the difference in whether you make it or not in network marketing, I'd say that's your book. You don't need to read about network marketing. It's not that, this business is not complicated. It's not. Never was. It got complicated only for profit. People want to sell you the secret, and there is no secret. But they want to tell you there's a secret. So the thing that I want you to learn to do is just get good at working with your leaders, number one. Have a social time. Maybe they can see you do some Zooms. Other leaders, you can maybe get other ones to step up, and on a Zoom call, they can demonstrate how they're getting into their phone book on their phone, doing, you know, or rather having phone calls with people in their phone book, talking them about the business. Start doing that. Start sharing that with one another. And if your leaders can see your other leaders doing that, making these phone calls, they're going to, you know, it's going to fire them up saying, you know what, I can do that too. Man, let me look at my phone book in my phone. Oh my gosh, I got a lot of people in here. Oh, I haven't talked to these people in years. Okay, start calling them. And then ask them that question. You know, we're being taught by the president and everyone else that we need to work from home. Have you ever thought about doing that? But again, spend a little social time with them, seeing how they're doing, how their family's doing. That's good manners, isn't it? And then you might also want to record yourself when you're making those phone calls. I've done that. You know, sometimes when I would record myself in making a prospecting call, and then I listened to the recording afterwards, I thought, oh my gosh, Jeff, pick it up. Where's the energy? Where no enthusiasm, you know? You're just being business, you know? You know, I can remember many years ago I started doing that. I'd even put a mirror in front of me because I realized that, and Tony Robbins teaches this, that your body posture, your physiology greatly affects your attitude, your mindset, your energy level. So, you know, if we're slumped over, you know, it's like, hey, hey, what's up? What's up, man? I haven't talked with you, and gosh, how long has it been? You know, 5 years, you know, man, it's been a long time, you know. What have I been doing? Yeah, just Just tell you, while I'm working this business, this new business, it's home-based business. See what I mean? So, mirror in front of you, watch your physiology, record yourself. Why? Tonality. Tonality is everything. It makes all the difference between them being interested or not interested in what you're saying. So having the right tonality, what comes across there is your belief, the feelings that you have about what it is you're promoting. Those beliefs ring out very strong in your tonality. So just pay attention to that. These are skills that you need to develop if you're ever going to be great at this. And maybe you are being great at this, but you want to go to another level? Or you want to stay where you are? I always want to go to another level. I can't go to a different rank position because I reached the last rank position in my company many years ago. I said, I can't go to a new rank, but I can go to another level. That's right. So the thing is, we want to be able to have those breakthroughs. And a breakthrough means just simply of experiencing and doing something for the first time. And we see the value and we see that, what it's going to yield. So do that. So you might want to use a mirror and you might want to record yourself. You might want to, if you have the courage, let other leaders see you do that. Talk to people and how you maybe deal with objections, things like that. If you're a leader and you have a team, then you might want to just say, hey, I'm going to do a Zoom call. First, we're going to have our, let's just have a short little meeting this morning since everybody's home. Let's have it on Zoom. Let's talk about the day, our goals, and what we're going to do. And each person can share that and all that. So, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting into my phone book on my phone, and then I'm going to start making phone calls. Now, other than that, too, also, you can start some of these people that you've been social with in Facebook as well. If you can get their phone number and call them, then that's another thing that you can do. You can also send them a message and see if they have a chance. Say, hey, are you home like me? Oh, yeah, man, I'm home. Hey, you got a few minutes to talk? We're always messaging. I would love to hear your voice. Just have fun with it. Don't make it serious, okay? Just have fun with it. And then when they, yeah, sure. They message you back the phone number, then call them. And do the same thing. See how they're doing, how their family's doing, and all that. No doubt coronavirus issue is going to be talked about, but then go right into what we just, what I said. And that is, we've been told by President Trump and even by the media, we need to work from home. I'm doing that now. What do you think? You ever thought about working from home, whether you'd like it or not? Oh yeah, I like it, but I can't go to work now. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it, man, that's tough. That's when you go into, can I share this with you? Can I share with you what I do and how I earn money from home? This may or may not appeal to you, may not be good for you, it's fine. But you may like it. A lot of people do. And then from that point forward, say, well, here's what I like to do. Let me send you a video, and then I'm going to call you right back. Do you have time to look at it now? Of course they do, because they're home, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, good. So it's only 10 minutes long. I'll call you in 15. But do that. Call them in 15. It can't be the next day. Okay? I tell you, the money's in the follow-up, right? You've heard me talk about that before. There was a woman that missed out on a six-figure income because she didn't follow up with me. So I signed up under someone else. That was many years ago. That was a big mistake on her part. So keep in mind, if we can't follow up, we're sending the message that we wouldn't be a good sponsor either. So we want to show people we're going to be a good sponsor. So when you send them that video and it's 10 minutes long, whatever the length is, you're calling 5 minutes after that, okay? And that's something good to also let your leaders see you do, how you follow up with people and what you say. And again, keep in mind, your prospects don't need to tell you whether this is good or not. You need to control the conversation. Your prospects do not need to control the conversation. So that is that this, when people say to me, well, I want to try the product first to see if it's really good. Well, first of all, why would I be involved in a company that has a product that's no good? Okay? So the product is not on trial with me. Now, I understand they don't know anything about it. I get that. Okay? Here's what I'll say to them. And I'm going to say, well, you know what? I understand your concerns. You're wanting to know how this product works. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll add you to a Facebook group right now where you can learn how this product has, benefited a lot of people and the stories and the things that they have to say about it. And then once you see that, I think that will answer your question about the product. Then the only thing we need to look at is, do you want to make money from home or not? Would you like to work from home? I'm certain you would agree that it's probably healthier. You don't have to worry about going and working around other people and getting a virus, right? That could have a very devastating effect on your health. So working from home, being around your kids, wouldn't that be not only healthier, but something that make you happier? Of course it would. So those are the things that your leaders, you need to take control. Your leaders need to see you take control of that conversation. You need to take control of that conversation. So that's the thing that I want you to learn to do, is start developing some skills on the phone. And the best way to do it is just make the phone calls. If you say, well, I'll probably suck at it. Okay, then suck big. Suck big then, okay? And keep in mind, everybody maybe is not skilled perfectly in let's say in talking over the phone and all that. You'll get better and better as you do it. And you'll see that really you don't have to have perfect or great skills to convince people that your product and your opportunity is great in order for them to join. You can be really not so good at this and still get them in your business. And then you're going to get better, you're going to get stronger. And I'll tell you what, after this coronavirus mess is over, there's going to be a lot of good that's going to come out of it, that you're going to have now skills, qualities that you would have never had this not happened. So take advantage of it. There's value that will come out of this crisis, so take advantage of that. So I love all you guys, and just hang in there, stay positive. And Raj in Northeast India, so far I don't think coronavirus is too bad out there where he is. He's way up in the Northeast. I was in his town one time in my lifetime. I'll never forget it. So nice to have you on the call. See, friends, technology is so powerful that I can reach leaders way on, in the most distant part of the earth because of this. And so take advantage of these tools, take advantage of technology, learn how to use it right, develop your phone skills. And if you do that and get into your phone book, do that in your phone and start calling people. That's the challenge that I want to make to you. And then on Friday night, I'm going to answer your questions. So feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Michael. I hope you are doing well and being safe. Rosanna, nice to see you. Nice to see so many of you tonight and being able to chat with you tonight. It's been an interesting day today. Beautiful day. It finally quit raining over here. Oh my gosh, it rained for days. So we finally got the sunshine. It was beautiful. So stay safe, and I'll see you on the next call. Take care.